Welcome back, everyone. Thank you for joining us on the RP Experience. This is season 2. I'm your host, Andrew Regenhard, and today I want to take a little bit of time to introduce you to the Real Producers team and all what we're doing here with Real Producers here in Southwest Florida. So I'm super excited. I have 2 guests with me today. Elizabeth Wilkie, which is our rock star administrative assistant, and one of our newest team members, Laurie Caraher, and she's actually our assistant publisher. Okay. This is my A team. Obviously, you guys have met some of the people. You might have met Laurie already at an event. You might have met Elizabeth at one of our photo shoots, or you might have seen some of us on social media or different places. So we're excited, and we're really pumped to have season 2 here.
Hello.
All right. First time for both of them on podcasts.
Right.
So give them a little credit here. They're getting outside of their comfort zone.
That's
so
right. Huge
kudos. So I want to take a second for you guys to understand a little bit about who I am and just a little bit of backstory, obviously, in Real Producers. So I'm the owner and publisher and started Real Producers about 3 years ago. We started it in Naples and Fort Myers, called SWFL Real Producers in 2020. We actually launched in March of 2020, which was a great month. Obviously, pandemic hit. It was crazy. At that time, we were covering both Lee and Collier County, and it was named SWFL. Over this past year, 2 years in, we really want to dedicate 2 different Real Producers for each market because they are very separate. So now you're going to see a lot of different branding, which is now Naples Real Producers and Fort Myers Real Producers. Okay.
Exciting.
It
is.
What is Real Producers, right? Like I keep saying the name, but what does it really mean? If you see on our masthead on the front of the publication, it is connecting, elevating, inspiring, and it's all about the real estate community. So really, it's about the best of the best in the market. Okay. Now, when I say the best, what does that mean? Well, it's the best realtors or top performing realtors in a given market, and then the top industry referred vendors. Okay. So all of our vendors come referred by these top agents, and they're the ones part of the platform. Those are the ones supporting the platform, and those are the ones that obviously help our realtors do what they're able to do, which is help clients buy and sell real estate. So it's pretty amazing. We have a hard copy publication, a monthly trade publication each month with all new contents. That's where amazing realtors are featured. It's super cool. And then we have our private events. Those are in tons of fun. We're able to bring together a lot of the most influential realtors in a more relaxed environment where they can build relationship, mastermind, and grow together. I mean, at the end of the day, we love seeing the relationships form with our partners and other realtors there. And then the last thing is our online community here at the RP Experience is one example. Social media, LinkedIn, right? Instagram, Facebook, all the different platforms. So super cool. And YouTube, if you're watching it on there. So
Andrew, I'm sure the listeners are a little curious about who you are. Could you tell us a little bit more about your background?
Yeah. So grew up in the Midwest, born and raised up in Wisconsin. So Midwest, born and raised, but then also went to North Dakota for school. So my whole life was pretty much up there in the tundra. Went to school for aviation. I was involved in fixed wing aircraft, which is just normal aircrafts, right? There's rotary. A lot of people don't understand the difference there. Rotary is helicopters, right? Or fixed wing. So airliners that you fly on, those are all fixed wing. So I was involved in that, but I was involved in UAS, which is unmanned aircraft systems. Did that for a while where I did military contracting, and I would go overseas. One thing led to another. I came down here in 2019 to be closer with my family, as my dad wasn't doing so well health-wise, and so I wanted to be there. And then obviously haven't left. Started Real Producers, and my partner, my girlfriend, 4 years is now my fiance, and we have a little dog named Noki. It's an English bulldog. It's white and it looks like a potato, potato pasta. So named him Noki. So that's a little bit about me.
Awesome. So one question, what do you think is the most important lesson you've learned in your life?
Oh gosh, most important lesson. I would it sounds cliche, but it's like always add value in whatever you could do. You could talk in a sense of relationship, right? Personally, adding value to your partner, pouring into them, whatever that might be. It could be a small task. It could be there to listen, whatever. Business wise, obviously adding value is super important. Why do people hire these amazing realtors? It's because they add value during the sale and they help them through the process. It could be a friendship, right? What are you doing for your friend or whatever it could be. So I think that's the biggest value, biggest lesson I've learned is just constantly add value.
Awesome.
But now I want to switch gears. I don't want to talk about myself very much. I would rather talk about you guys as the host on on the RP Experience. I love hearing and the stories and having amazing guests, and I'm lucky to have you guys as our team on here. So Elizabeth, welcome. You've been an amazing team member. You've been super helpful. I know a lot of people have said some amazing things about you and how helpful you are. And so you've been obviously a great asset to our team, and we're fortunate. So get the listeners a little bit up to speed on who you are.
Well, thank you for that introduction, Andrew. I appreciate that. So I am the administrative assistant here at Real Producers, and I've been here for about 8 months now, and I absolutely love it. So.
Well, good. Well, you're Midwest too, right?
I am.
From
yes.
Is it Ohio? Is that right?
Ohio.
Okay, cool.
Toledo, Ohio.
Yeah. So what brought you to Florida?
So I have family down here.
Okay.
So after I graduated college, I just decided I wanted to leave the cold and come down to the sunny Florida weather. And I don't miss it. I don't miss it.
And right now it's a little warm, but when it's wintertime, all your friends are probably like, oh, it's so cold, and you're like, it's beautiful here.
It's gorgeous. Yeah.
Elizabeth and I actually have something common, is aviation, right? Obviously, when we brought you on, you had your background was cool. She was a flight attendant, so pretty cool to see fellow aviation industry, experts. And what was your experience? How'd you like being a flight attendant?
I loved it. I learned a lot. I really did. You meet so many different walks of life, and it was a great experience. And, of course, it being such a customer service based industry, it was definitely a great learning experience.
I bet you have so many stories, because a lot of my friends that are currently actively flying, they're like, oh my gosh, this happened. So I bet we could have a podcast, all of you, just the stories alone.
Yeah, absolutely.
We'll love it.
Yes.
Well, welcome. We're again appreciative. Laurie loves working with you. Everyone, I enjoy it, and I know of all our clients and realtors enjoy it too. So welcome. Laurie, let's talk about you for a second. Put you on the hot seat. Now, full disclaimer here, it's like, the medical, commercial warning or like may cause side effects. Like, Laurie likes to talk. So we're going to make sure that you have to keep it under 30 minutes.
That's
Laurie.
right.
Okay, 30 minutes.
That's right. I embrace it.
All right. Laurie's from up in the Northeast area, Pittsburgh, and she has moved down here, and she loves sunny Florida because everyone does. And she recently just joined the team as the assistant publisher. So welcome. Tell the audience a little bit about who you are.
Okay. So originally from Chicago and moved to Pittsburgh in the early 90s for a sales job with Wilson Sporting Goods. And then after I raised my 3 kids, they're all off on their own, and I was really excited, and wanted to move to warmer weather, and it was just a great fit down here. So
perfect.
I'm excited to be here.
Kudos to Cindy, works with Joe Pavich, and they both talked very highly of you and ended up connecting us, knowing that I was looking for a little bit of help with Real Producers. So really appreciate that, and we're excited to have you on board. Question for you, Laurie: who inspires you?
Besides my mother, I would say Amelia Earhart.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. So
she's throwing Elizabeth. I think she wants to be in that.
I do. I want to be in your club.
Yeah, she wants to be in the cool kids club.
I want to be in the
here.
aviation club for sure. So
why Amelia?
So she was 39 years old when she was lost at sea. But for somebody not only in her generation, but being a woman aviator, she just inspired me of her bravery. And most people don't know that she was a writer as well and wrote some really popular books. And she was a huge catalyst in the commercial traveling industry. So she was the one that really brought it about through her books. And I just thought she was so inspirational and brave, knowing that she could do something that, first of all, being a woman at that time, even wearing pants was unheard of. And the fact that she was flying transatlantic flights, it
is impressive.
As a young woman, or excuse me, as a young girl, I just thought the sky's the limit. So
pun intended.
Yes,
literally.
absolutely. Insert. So,
I love it.
Yeah, so definitely.
I remember in aviation school, a few of the other women actually thought the same thought. Like they kind of like, that was like, they wouldn't say obviously like that's their idol, but it always got brought up, and it was just such a cool story too. I remember specifically us doing a deep dive in a sense of like what all happened, what she accomplished, and all that kind of stuff. And it was absolutely impressive. So, now a lot of questions obviously on what RP is. You guys have obviously learned over the past 8-9 months, and Laurie's been a firehouse of information, so she's been absorbing it like crazy. But I know a lot of people have some questions, so let's dive into a little bit of what RP is, some questions people have, and let's get those answered.
Yeah, so I'll go first. So one of the questions we've heard a lot is who receives the magazine?
Yeah, good question. So there's two publications that we're running here as the team, obviously. So when people hear Fort Myers Real Producers and Naples Real Producers, two different ones. Each are sent to the top 500. So in Naples Real Producers, it's sent to the top 500 in Collier, and then in Fort Myers, it's sent to the top 500 in Lee County. Now, that's depending on the volume that was sold from the previous year. So why do we do that? Well, obviously, every single month would be a nightmare, who sold, whatnot. So it's every year those numbers are updated, okay? So it's according to MLS numbers of like who produced the most in total volume, not like how many transactions were done. So it's total volume that was sold by that person in the specific counties. So good question.
Makes sense.
Yeah. And I will say it's not a perfect system because obviously we work through things. MLS is not a perfect reporting system. There is off-market MLS. Sometimes teams, report differently. So, I think I just hope if you're listening to this that, you come with us if you have a question or a concern, or you're maybe not receiving it. I mean, we could just have your address wrong. Like there's a lot of things like I'm not, but also be understanding of what we're doing too, because, it is a challenging thing to navigate, and, we're not here to offend anyone. We're not trying to leave anyone out. We're here to showcase the top producing agents. So, but we're human and we're a business, and unfortunately there will be some small mistakes, and we'd like to fix those.
And then another question is, what's the process for being featured in the magazine?
Good question. So the first step is obviously we sit down, myself and Laurie will sit down with agents and get to know, and that's kind of the first step. Now, how do you sit down with one of us? Well, there's kind of two different ways. If we get connected through agents or partners or different things, so somehow we get connected or we meet, and you're a top 500 agent, we'll sit down that way. The other thing is just through our nomination page, right? And anyone can nominate. So let's say you're a listener out there, you just bought or sold a house out there, and you worked with so-and-so realtor, and you're like, hey, I really enjoyed working with, they're top agents. I'd like to nominate them. Go ahead and nominate away. So that's just through our website. You can send us a message on Instagram or anything like that. So nominate. And then when we sit down, we get to hear your story, and then we figure out which feature is correct for the person. So perfect.
Nice. I have another one. So what does it cost a realtor to be featured?
Yeah. So we do understand that you guys as realtors are constantly getting approached by marketing. You're constantly trying to be sold something. Real Producers is funded solely by our preferred partners. Now, our partners come recommended. They're amazing businesses in town. We have amazing partners, and I can't go on and on about how good they are. The reason why is they all come recommended by our top agents. Now, to answer your question, it's zero. Because of those amazing partners, they're the ones that support the system. So when I sit down with an agent, right, we figure out a good placement, everything happens. Well, photos happen, right? Professional photography and articles written, the whole 9 yards to obviously create a beautiful feature. There's no cost that actually goes into that. So that's the beauty of it. It's all supported by our partner. So we can't thank our partners enough. And obviously, to show your support as a realtor, you obviously would love for you to get to know our partners and see if they can help assist your business.
Next question is, who are the preferred partners?
Yeah, good question. So our preferred partners are different vendors that help the realtor. The easiest way is, obviously it's a big process, or easier way to understand, it's a big process, from buying and selling property, right, for a client. So the realtor helps with that, but they can't just do it on their own. So they use the vendors to obviously facilitate it. So, big categories are like mortgage and title and, attorneys and builders, inspectors. We have a lot of different businesses that help facilitate that. If it's that electrician, a pool service, a handyman, a builder, a contractor, all kinds of different ones, even down to things that help run the specific business of being a realtor. That could be bookkeeping, that could be, marketing, different things like that. So there's a lot of things that go into play, but like the preferred partners are people that come recommended from an agent. So when we sit down, like the realtor refers like, hey, I love these businesses. I love this person. I love this. Like, these are the people we think should be a part of Real Producers. And then we figure out if they're a good fit. So they all come recommended from top agents. The reason we do that is at the end of the day, we want these we want these partners to be at the highest caliber they can. And we know if they're already working with a top agent of that same caliber, they're probably pretty good at what they do, right? Like, they're coming recommended from someone that's doing 20, 30, 40, 50, $100 million. Well, they're probably good at what they do, right? And so then we obviously know that they can assist the other top agents. So that's how they join Real Producers. They have advertisement within the publication. They'll be at the events with us. You'll see them on these podcasts. You'll see them even through our partners on our online presence and everything like that. So if there's one, obviously, I can always connect you with them, or anyone's curious on getting to know anyone, I'd love to help or reach directly out to them.
Right. So another question we get too is how can realtors recommend a preferred partner?
Yeah. I mean, I'm pretty easy to communicate. Most realtors, if I've chatted with them, they can directly text me. An email is easy. Anyway, we have a partner page as well, where a partner can fill out all the information too. So you could send them directly to that link. There's a lot of different ways to do it. We are in the business to helping businesses grow, right? And that's on both sides. Okay. The why I say that is, like, the realtor needs the partner to grow their business, right? They can't help a financing client buy a home without some kind of mortgage, right? So, same thing with the title work and different things like that. So, like, they need each other, but also too, like, we see, realtor to realtor, right? Hey, they make a connection. One of them has the buyer, one of them has the seller. Guess what? They just increase each other's business. So it's really cool. And so that's what our goal is within our community. And we just, we're here to create the community, and the love and support from all of our realtors and partners are what bring the community together.
Nice. And last question is, sorry, give me a minute. Can't see it. Last question is, are the RP events open to the public or to anyone in the realty community?
Good question. We would love to open it up to everyone, but unfortunately it would just get way too big and too crazy. These are private events. So the top 500 agents will get an invitation. They're allowed to come. They're allowed to bring a team member, right, or someone part of their team or something like that. We're okay with that, but it is exclusive to the top 500 agents there. And then it's only exclusive to our partners. When the realtor is able to come and everything like that, it's all powered by our partners. So unfortunately, again, I'd love every vendor a part of it, all that kind of stuff, but it just wouldn't be fair to our partners that are obviously financially invested and that are a part of Real Producers. So it is only private to our preferred partners. Hope everyone understands that and respects that. Now, if you are a vendor, that is hearing this and you're like, but I work with all the agents, obviously reach out to the realtor and be like, hey, like, I'd love to connect with Andrew, whatever it might be. And we can talk about that. But in regards to the events, they are private, and we keep it private for those agents and our partners. These have been awesome questions. I hope everyone enjoyed getting to know you both. We obviously are doing season 2 now. This is first episode of season 2. We got shout out to Core Films, Kobe. He killed it last season. See if you guys can notice any difference on this one. But he actually upgraded the cameras, and so we made some different changes there. We're doing a little different on the scripts and different things. So let us know on your guys' feedback. Your feedback is actually extremely valuable. You can make a comment, different things. Let us know. But we want to have one of the coolest real estate specific podcasts here in Southwest Florida, so we can add value to every single person. Another huge shout out I just want to give to VentureX. We have this is where our headquarters are here at VentureX, and this is our amazing podcast room, a part of VentureX. We couldn't do it without them. So huge thank you. So season 2 is on. Is being recorded, obviously, and you'll see it on every week. We'll be releasing a new podcast. It's going to be audio and video. It's going to be found on all platforms, from Spotify to Apple Music or Apple Podcasts to YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, all that good stuff. So we're super pumped. So, well, team, we're out.
Don't forget to like and subscribe.
Oh, for sure.
Thanks for listening.
Did you get that? We were like, the classic YouTube thing. Don't forget to right?
Hit that like button.
Team, we got to get back to work here. We're out of time, but thank you so much for getting on here. Obviously you both are new to podcasts, but you guys crushed it. So huge kudos and thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having us on.
Thank you.
All right. RP Experience is extremely thrilled to have you guys all on here. We're here at VentureX and in the podcast room. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for the next one.